having us, Dan, and then TCG family. TCG has really been a great supporter of Aircall, really super thankful for their partnership. My name is Phil. I'm a senior account executive over at Aircall. I support all of our channel managers by demoing the product, showing your customers what we have to offer, and of course, winning the business at the end of the day. I'd like to make this a little bit interactive at the beginning. Just curious, as a show of hands, who's familiar with Aircall? Who knows what we have to offer, what our product is? Okay, cool. So it's a really great time for some education here as well. Who has brought a deal over to Aircall? All right, we're gonna change that. So I think what we have to offer here is really special. The product is amazing. Our customer service and customer support is second to none. We also have dedicated onboarding that's included in our service. So I know it's a big differentiator for a lot, but we'll talk about that as we get through things. So just to tell you a little bit who we are today. We were founded in 2014 by 4 French co-founders. So our main headquarters is based out of Paris, France. So we actually found our international presence before moving into the US. And then in about 2016, 2017, we brought our US headquarters to New York City, and now we are a full global company. So when you talk about international presence, call quality, call stability, we partnered with some of the biggest carriers internationally to be able to provide you that stability. Aircall is built on top of Twilio, as well as multiple other carriers on the back end. So when you talk about stable infrastructure, global presence, that's what we have to offer. We recently raised a round of funding of $120 million, backed by Goldman Sachs, to put us at over a $1 billion valuation, which makes us a unicorn company. And so it's crazy to see that the show of hands here today, you folks don't really know who we are and have never brought a deal to us, but I think that that will change after you have a chance to see our presentation. We currently sit over 700 employees across 5 different offices, and we are continuing to grow. Just to put things into perspective, I started at Aircall January of 2019, so we're talking about 3.5 years ago. I was employee number 1-something, 110, 120, we're over 700 now, right? So we are growing massively. The product is really, really sexy. It's sleek, it demos well. At the end of the day, it functions well, right? We don't have every single feature in the book, but what we do really well. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. And gonna pass it over to Josh.
Sweet, I'm going next one. Question, who has ever sold a CCaaS deal before? Okay, so how many have sold a UCaaS deal before? All right, so it seems like more UCaaS, maybe some of y'all are kind of getting into the CCaaS space. We've kind of found that there are a few different reasons that maybe people haven't sold CCaaS yet, and one of them might be cost of entry for the buyers, and we've also seen that it feels a little bit overwhelming or a little bit convoluted. So one of the things that Phil mentioned is that we try to make this as clean as possible for you guys and your customers. So simply put, there are probably about 4 attributes that make up what Aircall does well, especially with our partnerships, okay? So first thing is super easy to set up and manage and scale. So one of the things that some of our competitors mentioned is self-service. That is really important. So some of you partners like to be self-service, some of the customers like to be self-service, and some like the vendor to handle it. We do whichever you guys want. We do have beautiful UI and great user experience. So someone mentioned it. What is the most expensive cost for this industry? Anybody? Most expensive cost? Labor. Yep, labor. What specific, like what kind of labor specifically in the CCaaS space? Agent churn, right? And one of the reasons that is if their user experience sucks, they're gonna be more likely to be frustrated in their job. So one of the things that we built really well and put a lot of money into is make sure that their job is easy by working in a great, clean dashboard. Number 3, we do have over 100 different integrations. I'll go over a couple of those because we are a premier partner with a couple. I know Phil will kind of touch on that a little bit too. And of course, 4, with us being a software telephony solution, you would expect superb call quality, and of course, that's what you're going to get with us. Okay, so from a simplicity standpoint, Phil again kind of touched on this a little bit.
Oops, sorry.
What is the most, when you guys are selling, what is the most contentious part of the sales process? Implementation. Why? Why? Yep, managing customers' expectations, deadlines, timelines. It doesn't implement well. Something was oversold, right? A couple reasons that is, a lot of our competitors offshore that and contract it out. All of our implementation, porting, customer service teams are all New York-based badged employees. So your onboarding experience is going to be pretty excellent with us in a way that is not super common. The other thing too, I was bidding out our partner was bidding out a 150, 200 seat deal with a competitor. Do you want to guess what the onboarding fee and implementation fee, deployment, it's all the same word. What was the fee for that for 150 seats? Higher.
60K.
Higher.
100K.
100K. $100,000 for 150 seats. So do you think that might be a barrier to entry for a lot of your scaling companies in your SMB and mid-market space? Yeah. It's a really big deal, and we don't charge for onboarding, porting, customer service implementation. This is a huge win, and that's why partners are starting to sell us more, because the onboarding experience is great, and we don't charge for it. You can have a phone number in over 100 different countries. Go ahead and touch on the integrations, because I've gone over most of it. Go to the next one. From the integration standpoint, we are a premier partner with Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, and a few others. HubSpot's a big one. HubSpot themselves has invested in us, and we are the #1 app downloaded on their app marketplace for voice. So it's really important for you guys to know what tools, what CRMs, help desk tools your customers are using, otherwise you're losing business. HubSpot's already recommending us to their customers. So make sure you guys know what tools they are using. I think we're good on that.
Thanks, Josh.
Any questions before Phil kind of does a quick overview? Cool. All right.
So I'm actually going to share out my screen, and it's the famous quote. Can you see my screen now? I'm going to share out my screen and show you a little bit about what we have to offer. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry about that. But before I do that, I just want to preface this, right? When you think about call centers and traditional modern call centers, right, what do you think of? You think about maybe those large boiler room, maybe like American Airlines or Delta Airlines type rooms where you have, a few hundred call center agents that are there standing to take calls. But over time, and as we've seen the industry grow, right, we've seen big changes in this space. You can define a mom and pop 3-user e-commerce company as a call center. They're customer facing. They have clients that are going to be reaching out to them with questions, and they need to be able to build and put together tools in their stack that all talk to each other and that work really well together. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a quick overview of Aircall and how our integrations work. One other thing I want you to think about, whenever you're talking to any of your prospects and you're thinking about selling, you're thinking about, hey, where do I think about Aircall? And the right time to think about Aircall is anytime you're thinking about an SMB that has a customer-facing team and integrations, right? That's really where our sweet spot is. We have a very friendly and open API. Our knowledge base is very well documented, so anytime that you are going to be selling anything that's not in the 100+ integrations that we offer out of the box, we have a really nice solution engineering team that can work with that. Please be nice, because I don't know what the Wi-Fi looks like in here, so if there's, this is taking a big chance here. If this doesn't look right, it's going to make me look bad. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a call from my cell phone to my Aircall phone number. I'm going to show you what an inbound call looks like, and then I'm also going to take you through our integration within HubSpot, and that will be it. I'm going to just very quick, high level, just to give you a taste and understanding as to what this looks like. Here we can see I have my good buddy Jonah Hill giving me a call via my Phil direct line, and automatically you're going to see it's going to pull up my integration right into HubSpot. One click and it will take me into Jonah Hill's profile. Yes, I know what you're thinking. I kind of look like him. I sound like him. Thank you. We'll get that out of the way first. Appreciate that. And so here you can see whether it's an inbound call, outbound call, missed call, or voicemail, it's going to automatically log over as an activity directly into the CRM. Because we are API to API integrated, you know that every time, no matter what, the call is going to get logged. We're not built on top of Zapier, or any of these third-party tools that a lot of these phone companies are doing to build out these integrations. We're actually API to API connected, meaning that our engineers worked with HubSpot's engineers to make sure that the solution and the product works seamless. Now at the same time, right below my call log, you're going to see that we also offer SMS. Our SMS offering allows calls to get logged directly right into HubSpot. So no matter what kind of interaction agents are having, they'll no longer have to go in and log anything manually, take notes, right? You can take notes directly on our phone app. Any notes they take in the actual phone app will get logged over as a comment right here. So imagine this, right? You have a call center agent that says takes 10 calls per day. If you ever tried to log a call into CRM, we all know it's a tedious process. No one likes doing it. And a lot of the time, you're going to miss out and lose out on the information. So by having a native integration, such as this into HubSpot, you know that each and every interaction is going to get logged. You no longer have to do admin work, right? As a sales rep myself, the worst part of my job is logging things into Salesforce. I absolutely hate it. I spend hours doing it. And if there was a way that I could automate my notes and my work as well, that would be amazing. We give you the ability to tag and disposition calls, right? So being able to track call outcomes, all of your native reporting. And the other thing I want to show you is I'm going to take you into the admin dashboard. So this is our management component of our phone system. Because we are built on top of Twilio, we give you the ability to instantly provision numbers right from our platform. So you can come in here, boom, United States. I can select a toll for your local number. Let's look at Florida, for example. And here we can see, for example, the 786 Miami area code. I can instantly provision that phone number, be up and running in 3 minutes or less. Now, I want to actually take you into a phone line. So I'm going to take you into like a support line that we have. And so here you can see our product is meant to be self-serve, self-designed. So whenever you want to update your welcome message, you can come in here. We offer either text-to-speech or you can upload your own custom MP3 file. When it comes to call routing, it's drag and drop of the priority of where you want the caller to be. Everything does update in real time. So in terms of simplicity, scalability, ease of use, Aircall is definitely the product that you want to look for. And last but definitely not least, showing off a little bit of our call center offering. We have a live activity feed. The live activity feed is going to show you everything that's happening in the center in real time, number of callers that you currently have in the queue, number of missed calls, and of course we also offer the call coaching, call whispering, meaning that you can join your agents in real time, listen in, do a quality assurance check, make sure best company practices are being followed. So I'd love to show you a more kind of put together demo from start to finish.
Okay, the one-to-one offer is if you bring us a deal that is 10 users or over, an actual opportunity to qualified op, we will give you guys one. So it's free money. Please take us up on that. Did you? Okay, 1-for-1 deal. If you guys bring us an actual 10 user op or more qualified, Phil's got to qualify it. We will give you a deal back, 10 users or more. Okay? Please take us up on that. Another thing just to mention, when you guys are selling, for those of you guys that haven't sold CCaaS before, asking your customers, your prospects, if they have a call center is not helpful. They don't know what that means. So stop asking that question. They don't relate to it. They don't relate with having a call center. Ask how they interact with their customers. Ask what the customer journey looks like. Ask about inbound. Ask about outbound. You'll have a better idea of what they're actually using. Cool? All right.
All right, so the food's coming out, so I'm probably going to lose everybody's attention in about a minute or two, so I'm going to make this pretty quick. I just want to show you a little bit what we have to offer on our roadmap. It's coming very soon. It's going to be scary good because what we do very well. We actually just hired a team over in Israel of developers that are building our voice AI, and essentially we are expecting this to come at the end of this quarter towards early next quarter. And so with our voice AI, it's going to be conversational intelligence. Anytime that it recognizes voice changes, anytime someone maybe says a word that you have flagged, it will automatically send alerts to the managers. There's a lot of cool things coming to the roadmap. At the same time, we're going to offer voicemail transcriptions directly right in our phone app. So agents no longer have to go in, listen to the voicemail. It's going to be directly right within. Talk to you a little bit about pricing. This is where I think we win. Okay, and if you take a look at our pricing, we have two different seat models. We have our Essentials plan and we have our Professional plan. Our Professional plan offers a little bit more call center geared features such as callback request, that live activity feed that I showed you, the call coaching, call monitoring. Our Essentials plan is a little bit more basic, right? For folks maybe that don't have the full appetite, that don't need all the features. And one thing that I will say is with our pricing, everything's included. You don't get this long bill when you sign up that shows you have this fee and that charge and this integration cost and a call recording cost and an integration fee and a porting fee. It's very simple. You have your license cost, you have your phone number cost, you have your inbound toll-free minutes. That's it. That's all you pay for with Aircall. As Josh mentioned earlier, we have a dedicated onboarding team, implementation, in-house user admin training, account setup, implementation, fully done by our team. Everything's done in-house in our New York office. We talked about the spiffs that we have to offer.
I do want to
Yep.
I do want to touch on that just a little bit. For those of you guys that don't sell CCAS, the average CCAS cost in our industry is about $140 a seat. So at this price point, about average $40 per seat, we wanted to hit that gap between just a basic UCAS play and then going into an enterprise level play, because there's this gap where, again, sometimes the cost might be a barrier of entry for new SMB and mid-market customers as they're growing. So this is where we wanted to really hit very well.
Yeah, this is the exclusive offer that Josh mentioned. It's 1 for 1. Any qualified deal that comes in, 10 users or more, we're going to give you one back. Just to put it into perspective, we have a group of SDRs that outbound hunt all day long. A lot of them were trained by me. And so you know that when you're going to get a deal back from us, it's going to be something nice. Thank you so much for your time. If you're ever interested in learning a little bit more about Aircall, learning a little bit about who we are as individuals as well, this is our information. Please feel free to take a picture of this. Again, want to thank TCG family for always supporting Aircall and Dan always advocating for us. I know based on the show of hands that not a lot of you folks have had a chance to bring a deal to us, but we do have an 85% win rate once the deal is qualified. So I promise you, you bring a deal to me, I'm going to treat them like family. I'm a relationship seller. They're going to get the best customer service. Your client emails me, they're going to get a response back in an hour or less. I'm working 24/7. I hate to admit it, but I'm a workaholic. That's who I am. And I really care about what I do and the output. And my name has a brand to it. People know who I am in the space. And when I sell, they know that they're working with the best. And that's really what I try to keep. And I don't say that from an arrogant perspective. I truly say that because I work hard, I care about my customers, and I want to sell great solutions to great individuals. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
One lately, like not names. But
Yeah,
how you want to
sure.
I just want everyone to hear kind of like some examples of wins that these guys are going after. Some things that I know you talk to customers every day, so why they
So there's actually a deal that came right to mind when you asked me that. It's a deal actually that Josh brought to me recently. Well, maybe not recently. It was like what, around December time?
It was December.
November, December time. Josh brought a deal to me. We were going up against a competitor, and they ended up going with the competitor, okay? They went there, they used it for a month. I get an email in mid-January saying, Phil, I have an emergency. I need to get back on a call with you. I said, okay, no problem. Hop back on a call. I start to understand a little bit more why they ended up going with us in the first place. I took a solution engineer that I work with very closely, who's absolutely brilliant. I put him in touch with his customer. The customer told him everything that he's looking for. My solution engineer then went and built all the documentation for this customer. The customer then implemented the solution before actually purchasing anything. He's still on a trial, didn't pay anything, just sent his devs and did a lot of custom work. Took about a month's worth of time. Once the solution was configured and built the way that they wanted it to be built, I closed the deal in 3 days. It started off as 30 seats. Once they had an opportunity to actually try our product, they actually brought in another 60 seats. So we went from getting just their customer-facing folks to the entire organization. And that is the power of not us selling, but them using our product. And when you see Aircall in action, I will always say it, right? We don't have every single feature in the book. We don't have a laundry list of features, but what we do have, we do very well, and it works very well, and it's very simple, easy to use. And yeah, that's about a deal that we won recently. Any questions that I can answer for anyone? Yeah. So we definitely do. We work with Intercom, we work with Gorgeous, we work with a lot of different third party. If you're talking about internal chat that we offer, no, we focus on voice and SMS only. But we have a lot of third party partners that we work with, such as like an Intercom or Gorgeous or Zendesk that we have native integrations with that offers those chat features. Yeah, CRMs, I mean, there's like 20 of them. We have Monday, we actually are the only phone system for Monday.com. We have a Salesforce integration, HubSpot, Zoho, Microsoft Dynamics, Pipedrive, Microsoft Teams. There's the laundry list. We have over 100 integrations out of the box.
I have like 4 questions. But
Yeah.
on Zoho, real quick. Do you log into Zoho?
Yeah,
also?
of course, absolutely.
So, as far as porting numbers go, because you didn't mention anything about that, is that a problem or anything? Because you're using like Twilio and stuff on the back end?
Yeah, I love that question. So we have a dedicated porting team. We have a team that's specifically just dedicated for porting.
Also in New York.
Also based in New York, you will always be speaking to an Aircall badge employee. Our porting process is about 7 to 10 business days, of course, depending on the losing carrier and when they decide to release the number to us. But we are in constant communication with our customer throughout the entire time. One thing that's actually pretty cool about our porting process is we can port the number, and while the number is still porting, we can actively put that number on the dashboard so that way they can do all their configuration and setup and all that. So once the number is ported, they're ready to go.
Another question that I had was, like, I'm using Twilio right now for a project where I checked out some stuff. Since you guys have it on the back end, could I somehow seamlessly start using you guys instead, since you have an API?
Sorry, one more time, please.
I use Twilio for some texting stuff
Yep.
that goes out right now. Since you have an API, could I theoretically migrate over to you guys if I wanted to?
So you don't even have to migrate. Because we're built on top of Twilio, there's a process called SIP trunk. And you can SIP trunk the Twilio number directly into Aircall. You don't even have to port it. You can have your number SIPed into Aircall in the same hour, have it up and running.
So would I be able to call you guys via an API the same way I call them on my code side?
No, so because we use Twilio's backend API and we built the front end of it, so that's not possible. But in terms of utilizing the same number for calling and texting, you can definitely do that.
And then a question that we had earlier to our dial pad guys, on an incoming text to a primary number, can I have multiple people in it?
Absolutely. As long as they share the same phone number and they have access to the number, any individual that is part of that phone line itself or that DID will have access to the SMS.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Perfect. Again, thanks so much and hope everyone enjoys their meal. Bon appetit.
Thank you.
Thank you.